Hello, my name is Andrea Blaylock and I'm a student at Fort Valley State University, and I'm going to talk to you briefly about my vacations with my granddaughter, Haley. Haley is a 10-year-old fifth grader at Florida State University schools here in Tallahassee, and she loves history. Whether it's American history, black history, she is just uh, enthralled with history. And so she asked me one day when she was about 7 years old, maybe 6 years old, and said, Mama, uh, I want to go and visit every HBCU in the country. Is that something that we can do? And I thought about it for about two or 3 minutes and said, "You absolutely right. We can do that." Because I believe wholeheartedly that exposure lifts the veil of ignorance. When we expose our little people to experiences, events, people, and places, oh my goodness, the sky is the limit to what they can do and what they can become because they have an opportunity to touch it and feel it. Um, this is very important to me because when I was a kid, we didn't go on vacations. My family didn't go on vacations annually. When we went out of town, it was to visit a relative or to go to a funeral. But I was an avid reader when I was a child, and so my imagination allowed me to travel to places that I probably couldn't go to physically or would never go to physically at that time. And so I made a vow to myself that when I became a parent and I began a family, that we would go on vacations and not only just to have fun, but to be educated and as well during the trip. So with my granddaughter, she and I began to go on this quest to get a hoodie or a t-shirt or some type of souvenir from every HBCU. And what we found that when we started this, it was almost haphazardly. We were headed to Charleston, South Carolina to visit the Mother Emanuel AME Church. As you are aware, that church had 9 people to be murdered while attending a Bible study back in 2015. And so the next year, 2016, my granddaughter and we set out to go and pay homage to those 9 beautiful souls that were lost that fateful night in June. And during that trip, we went through Jacksonville, and not only did we go to the zoo in Jacksonville, but we stopped at Edward Waters College, which is a private HBCU here in the state of Florida. And we got us a t-shirt, and we kept traveling. And after we left Jacksonville, we went to Savannah, and we stopped on the Black History Trail there, and we saw the Underground Railroad tour. And we also went to Savannah State University, another HBCU. And at this point, we weren't doing anything but stopping by the bookstore and getting a t-shirt. Once we got to Charleston, we did a tour of the Black History Trail. We went to the market, and we saw where current times now, in today's time, we see the market selling purses and jewelry and clothes. But I had to explain to my granddaughter that, hey, at one time, human beings were being sold here. African Americans were being sold as slaves here. They were auctioned off as slaves. And now this place sells clothes and purses and trinkets and whatnot. And so every time we went to a place of significance, there was always this question of why. And after we left Charleston, we went on to Orangeburg and visit South Carolina State. And there was the key point, the turning point of this, is because we learned that everybody knows about what happened at Kent State in the 70s when the National Guard shot the students on their campus. But did you know that the same thing happened a couple of years earlier to 3 students on the campus of South Carolina State, where 3 students died? And then later, it also happened at Jackson State over in Mississippi. It also happened at Southern over in Louisiana. So that was a key point in our travels, because not only we were just going there to get a t-shirt, but we were going there, and once we got on campus, we learned about the rich history that they had at those campuses. And like I said, since then, we've gotten t-shirts from some of everywhere. My granddaughter's gotten t-shirts from Bethune-Cookman. Of course, Florida A&M. Tuskegee, which we visited last year. And we got a chance to see Booker T. Washington's home. And we got a chance to see George Washington Carver's grave along with Booker T. Washington. Tuskegee has a beautiful campus. And my granddaughter, even though she's been born and raised FAMU, she said to me while we were touring the campus of Tuskegee, she says, "I don't care what my mommy says, I'm coming to Tuskegee. And I know you'll support me, won't you, Mama?" And of course, how can I not support her when she wants to go to college and become a productive citizen? We also had an opportunity to go to Miles College and visit Miles College. A lot of my students, where I teach at the Law Enforcement Academy, they know about my granddaughter's quest to get a t-shirt from every HBCU. And I had a student who was a Howard alum, and she got us both Howard t-shirts. Just the other day, a student sent me a hoodie. He went to Tennessee State, and he sent a hoodie for my granddaughter because we were supposed to be going to Tennessee State this summer, but due to COVID-19, we are on quarantine, and we can't travel to see Tennessee State and Fisk University and Meharry Medical College, along with the Lorraine Motel over in Memphis, Tennessee, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. So what I have found with this exposure, and I'll be remiss if I didn't say we have a t-shirt from Fort Valley State University as well. But what I have found is that, again, exposure lifts the veil of ignorance. And when my granddaughter goes back to school, she's empowered with knowledge. She's empowered with information, correct information. She had it. One of her classmates was talking about Tuskegee and Booker T. Washington and the Tuskegee Airmen, and the student had trouble pronouncing Tuskegee, and so did the teacher. And my granddaughter, she says, "Well, can I just tell you it's pronounced Tuskegee?" And those type of things, when she comes back and reports those type of things to me, that lets me know that what I'm doing with her and our travels are worthwhile. And I know that the veil of ignorance is being lifted. Thank you.